Hey Reddit, I'm posting here because I'm fresh out of a relationship, and while there's a part of me that feels immense relief, there's another part that's just heartbroken and second-guessing everything. I know relationships are complicated, especially when family is involved, but I truly don't know if I was being unreasonable with my expectations. I'm Ethan, 28M. For about 8 months, I was dating Maya, 25F. We met through mutual friends, and honestly, things started out great. She's kind, funny, incredibly empathetic, and we had a fantastic connection. We laughed easily, shared common interests, and genuinely enjoyed each other's company. We didn't live together, but we spent almost every weekend at each other's places, and we were actively discussing moving in together sometime next year. I was picturing a future with her, maybe even marriage down the line. I was genuinely happy. But there was a significant, and increasingly overwhelming, aspect of her life that constantly bled into our relationship: her family. Maya comes from a large, close-knit family. At least, that's how she always described it. What I soon learned was that close-knit translated to constantly demanding and reliant. It seemed like her phone was glued to her ear, always ringing, always with a new crisis from a family member that only Maya could solve. It started subtly. We'd have dinner reservations set for weeks, and then Maya would get a call from her mom: "Maya, your brother, Leo, locked himself out of his apartment again. Can you bring him the spare key?" Dinner cancelled. Or we'd be halfway through a movie at the cinema, and her aunt, Sarah, would call: "Maya, I spilled something on the carpet, and I need you to come over right now to help me clean it before it stains." We'd have to leave. Every time, it felt like our plans were secondary, easily discarded for whatever urgent, usually minor, family issue arose. I tried to be understanding. Family is important, I get that. But the frequency and the nature of these demands became genuinely disruptive. For instance, we once planned an entire weekend hiking trip, something we both loved doing. We had booked an Airbnb, packed our bags, everything. The morning we were supposed to leave, Maya's dad called. "Maya, my car broke down again. I need a ride to the auto shop across town, and then you'll have to pick me up later." I looked at Maya, bewildered. "Can't he just take an Uber or a taxi?" I asked gently. "It's a 2-hour drive for us round trip, and we'll miss half the day's hike." Maya looked at me like I'd suggested he walk barefoot through broken glass. "Ethan. It's my dad. He needs my help. Of course, I have to go." Our hiking trip was cancelled. Again. She'd always justify it with, "They just rely on me, Ethan." I can't say no. They're family. It wasn't just her time either. Not only did her family expect her to drop everything, but they quickly began to expect me to be involved. I felt like I was constantly being pressed into service. Family gatherings, which became more frequent, always seemed to involve me driving Maya, her mom, her brother, or some combination of them. I became the designated driver, the family chauffeur. I'd pick them up, drop them off, wait around, and then drive them home. There was never an offer to chip in for gas, never a sincere, "Thank you for driving us, Ethan." It was just assumed. Like I was part of the service package. It made me feel less like a valued partner and more like a convenient resource. I tried to help, truly. I'd offered to fix things around their houses, help with errands, even offered to pay for a taxi for her dad once. But it was always met with, "Oh, you don't need to do that, Ethan. Maya will take care of it." It felt like they viewed me as an outsider who was providing a service, rather than an equal partner who was part of their daughter's life. The breaking point for me came on my 28th birthday. Maya had planned a nice, quiet dinner for us at a fancy restaurant I had always wanted to try. It was meant to be our night. We were halfway through our main course, actually enjoying a rare moment of uninterrupted conversation, when Maya's phone rang. It was her aunt, Sarah. Maya immediately answered, her brow furrowed. "Oh no. A household emergency? Right now?" I saw her shoulders slump, and a familiar sense of dread washed over me. "What is it?" I asked, my voice already filled with resignation. "Aunt Sarah's toilet is overflowing," Maya said, her eyes wide. "She needs me to come over immediately." I sighed, trying to keep my voice calm. "Maya, can't she call a plumber? Or her landlord? We're at my birthday dinner. And we just got our food." "Ethan!" she exclaimed, her voice hushed but exasperated. "It's a toilet. She needs me. It's family. She pushed her plate away, already reaching for her purse. I have to go. I'm so sorry. I stared at her, feeling a cold knot of frustration tighten in my chest. This was my birthday. My night. And it was, yet again, being derailed by a family emergency that could easily be handled by someone else. Maya, I said, trying to keep my voice even, this is my birthday. For once, can't family wait 5 minutes? Can't we finish our meal? This happens every single weekend. Every time we make plans, your family calls, and you drop everything. I feel like I'm constantly being put on the back burner. Maya reacted defensively, instantly. Her face hardened. Ethan, how can you be so selfish? It's my family. They need me. You just don't understand family loyalty. I understand family loyalty, I countered, my voice rising slightly. I love my family too. But we also have boundaries. We don't call each other at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday because a light bulb went out. We don't cancel important plans for minor inconveniences. There has to be a balance, Maya. I feel like your relationship with me is secondary to every single one of their demands. I feel like an afterthought. The argument escalated into a full-blown fight right there in the restaurant. Her insistence that family always came first clashed fundamentally with my belief that a healthy romantic partnership required mutual respect, shared priorities, and, yes, boundaries. I suggested, desperately, can we just have one weekend a month? Just one, dedicated to us? No family calls, no emergencies, unless it's truly life or death? She looked at me like I had suggested abandoning them on a deserted island. You're asking me to choose, Ethan. You're being selfish and unreasonable. They're my blood. The argument ended with her leaving to go fix her aunt's toilet, and me sitting alone at my birthday dinner, feeling utterly dejected and resentful. After that night, the constant family interruptions became an unbearable weight on our relationship. I started feeling more and more like an ATM and a taxi service, not a boyfriend. The conversations about moving in together became fraught with tension. How could we build a shared life if every plan was tentative, every commitment conditional on her family's next demand? During one of our heated discussions about finances for moving in, she'd lament, I'm just so strapped for cash, Ethan. My job doesn't pay as much as yours. I won't be able to contribute as much to rent or bills. I, being understanding, said, it's okay, we'll figure it out. We're a team. But something kept nagging at me. She always seemed to have nice clothes, go out with her friends, and somehow manage her own bills despite claiming to be strapped. It didn't add up. One afternoon, I was at her apartment helping her organize some paperwork for her taxes. She'd asked for my help because she was so overwhelmed. I stumbled upon her bank statements. I wasn't looking for anything, honestly, just trying to sort things out. And then I saw it. A recurring transfer. Every single month, on the 1st, a transfer of $1,200 labeled family support. My jaw dropped. $1,200. Every month. Casually, consistently, sent to her parents' account. I remembered her claiming she was struggling financially and unable to contribute much to our future shared expenses. She was telling me she couldn't afford to split rent equally, yet she was funneling nearly a quarter of her modest salary to her family. Not for an emergency, not as a one-off, but as a consistent, unspoken financial commitment. I felt a cold wave of deception wash over me. It wasn't just about the money, it was the blatant lie. The lack of transparency. The fact that she was actively choosing to prioritize her family's financial needs over our future, without ever discussing it with me. How could we build a life, merge our finances, or plan for anything if she had this enormous, undisclosed financial obligation to her family, and was lying about her own financial situation? I felt completely betrayed. I wasn't just an afterthought, I was a convenient blind spot. I confronted her about the financial transfers. She got defensive, then angry, then tearful. They need it, Ethan. They rely on me. It's not your business. It is my business, I said, when we're talking about combining our lives, our finances, and you're lying about your financial capacity to contribute to our shared future. How can I trust you if you're hiding something like this? The argument was circular, going nowhere. She truly believed her family's needs superseded everything, including honesty with her partner. It became painfully clear that her family didn't just expect her help, they completely relied on her. They didn't see me as her partner, as someone building a future with her. They saw me as an appendage, a useful resource that Maya could occasionally bring along to serve their needs. I was clearly a secondary priority, if even that. The drama bled into her family, too. They caught wind of our arguments about their demands and Maya's financial contributions. Her parents and siblings started intervening, calling Maya constantly, telling her I was selfish and trying to control her. They started pressuring her relentlessly. Maya, you have to choose. Is it your family or him? I watched her struggle, caught between her deep-seated sense of obligation to them and her feelings for me. I felt a strange mix of sympathy for her impossible position and frustration at her inability to set boundaries with them. I realized I was being manipulated by her entire family, and she was too. One evening, after another particularly intense call from her mom, Maya came to me, her eyes red from crying. Ethan, she said, her voice barely a whisper, I can't do this anymore. The pressure, it's too much. My heart sank. I knew what was coming. My family, they need me. They rely on me. And you need boundaries that I just can't give them. I can't be caught in the middle like this. She took a deep breath. I think we should break up. I can't handle it. The breakup was devastating. I loved her. I truly did. The thought of a future without her felt bleak. But underneath the heartbreak, there was a quiet, undeniable sense of relief. It was over. The constant demands, the endless apologies for cancelled plans, the feeling of being a secondary character in my own relationship. The financial deception. The fundamental misalignment of our values and priorities. She chose her family, and their endless demands, over building an independent, respectful partnership with me. And honestly, while it hurt like hell, it was the right choice for both of us. We simply wanted different things, had different ideas of what a healthy relationship looked like. I'm still healing from the heartbreak, and I'm learning to navigate the emotional landscape that comes after such a significant relationship ends. But with each passing day, the clarity grows stronger. I'm learning to trust my instincts more, to recognize red flags early on, and to prioritize my own well-being and happiness. Where both partners feel equally valued and respected, and where external obligations, no matter how deeply ingrained, don't constantly overshadow the needs and goals of the couple. I'm grateful for the lessons learned, however painful they were. I'm focusing on my career, my personal growth, and nurturing the relationships that truly enrich my life. I'm looking forward to a future where my plans are my own, and when I do find a partner again, I know she will be an equal, fully invested in our life together, with transparent commitments and a shared vision for our future. This painful chapter has ultimately become a stepping stone towards building a life that truly aligns with my values and priorities.